Erin Patel was no stranger to psychological stress. As a content moderator for Glimmer, a fast-growing social media platform marketed as a safe space for Gen Z, she reviewed hundreds of graphic posts per shift, videos of self-harm, suicidal ideation, and mental health breakdowns. It was emotionally taxing, but she approached the job with a sense of duty. On a rainy night in October 2024, she failed to show up to a family dinner. A neighbor later found her unresponsive. Toxicology reports showed a lethal mix of sedatives and alcohol. Police concluded it was accidental, but her sister Maya, a clinical social worker, immediately saw red flags. Erin had been sober for nearly 4 years, and 3 days earlier, she had called Maya, whispering, "If anything happens to me, look in the files." Erin's laptop was locked, but a small post-it note hidden in a jewelry box contained a 16-digit encryption key. Inside the drive was a folder named Failsafe. Contained downloaded Slack messages between engineers and platform executives discussing surge metrics when depressive content was shown more frequently. An internal slide deck titled Emotive Engagement Clusters, which outlined how posts tagged with sadness, loneliness, or self-harm saw a 37% increase in user retention, particularly among users aged 13 to 19. A redacted research paper written by Glimmer's internal psychology team warning that algorithmic amplification of despair-related content may significantly correlate with increased suicidal ideation among vulnerable youth. A list of at least 5 content moderators who had filed HR complaints, none of whom were still employed. Maya took the drive to freelance tech reporter Isaac Tran, whose past work had exposed privacy violations by other tech firms. Together, they began investigating. What they found was both familiar and horrifying. Another tech company optimizing human vulnerability for profit. Glimmer's algorithm, like many others, had been designed to maximize stickiness, keeping users on the platform longer. Depressive posts, especially vague allusions to loneliness, self-harm, or relationship despair, triggered a spike in time on platform. The algorithm took note and served up more of the same. By comparing Erin's internal documents with public data, Tran traced a disturbing pattern: 3 high-profile teen suicides, 1 in Illinois, another in Texas, and a 3rd in Oregon, had all occurred within months of peak engagement on Glimmer's mental health channels. Parents of the victims reported eerily similar behaviors: obsessive posting, late-night scrolling, and increasingly isolated behavior, all while being shown an endless stream of despair-laden content. Through a former Glimmer engineer who agreed to speak off the record, Tran and Maya confirmed that warnings from the mental health team had been suppressed. In fact, one internal research project had been killed weeks before Erin's death after a VP called it detrimental to shareholder value. Further digging revealed that Glimmer had quietly settled at least 2 lawsuits from families who alleged the platform contributed to their children's deaths. The settlements were sealed by strict NDAs. The same law firm that negotiated the deals had also drafted internal HR guidance to silence employee concerns by labeling them speculative or emotionally biased. Even Erin had faced backlash. Her final performance review, dated just weeks before her death, flagged her for inappropriate data export behavior and disruptive questions regarding product design. In early 2025, Tran published a 7,000-word exposé in a national magazine. It went viral within days. Congress took notice. A Senate subcommittee on youth mental health subpoenaed Glimmer's executive team, and Erin's documents became part of the record. Under mounting pressure, Glimmer announced wellness upgrades to its algorithm, including human review for flagged mental health posts and an opt-out mode for vulnerable users. But many critics saw it as too little, too late. A wrongful death lawsuit filed by Maya Patel and a coalition of other families is now moving through federal court. Erin Patel never lived to publish the truth she uncovered, but her encrypted trail exposed something larger than any single platform. A tech industry willing to turn pain into profit and hide the damage behind code, contracts, and silence. Her story is not just about corporate negligence. It is about how algorithms, designed by humans, trained on human behavior, and left largely unregulated, can exploit the darkest corners of the human psyche for clicks, shares, and quarterly gains. In Erin's own words, recovered from her notes, "If data is the product, then so is despair."